Greetings, listeners and viewers. Your host for the night, Zach, here, introducing you to The Call of Cthulhu podcast by Twisted Gears Studios. For those new to our show or just catching up, our episodes air at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on YouTube, with live chat with various members of the cast before going up on all of our audio services 1 hour later. So if you want to react live with the community as the episode airs, YouTube is the place. Don't forget to visit our website for merch and our Ko-fi page, where each coffee you donate is a luck point added to a pool the keeper uses to top off our players' luck each session. If you donate enough copies for all of us, Derek gets dice to mess with us. So, there's that. But for now, last we left our investigators, Althea and Marion have left the manor, having found a door that whisked them away to a warehouse elsewhere. They must now find a way back to the lodge and figure out why there are so many vats of black ichor and copies of skeet.
I'm not going to do it because I don't want to have to end up doing it like this every time. What's up, everybody?
Oh my god.
I don't want to have the thing where I got to do it
always
every
complain.
time. What's up there? Whatever thing stuff says. This is going to be great.
We're ready to go.
Language is hard.
It is.
Okay.
It takes you like 5 years to learn a language.
It takes you 5 years to get 13 days into a campaign.
Also that.
I'm from Newfoundland. I've been...
Yeah, there's no reason Derek should know another language by now.
43 years.
He was cultish.
All I know is the language of failure.
Oh my god!
Okay! Hello.
Someone stared into the void and then stared back.
And the void went, ah!
All right, now that we've brought it down a notch.
Okay, so we're going to start up this game. It's been a little bit since we were together, so we're going to start off with this. It's something I try to do every 2 games or every 1 game, but I don't remember when we did it last time. So we're going to start off handing out of luck, just to get this out of the way. Although I might have... Anyway, we'll see. Agatha.
Yes.
What's your luck at?
70.
So you get 5 points of luck. I will make a note. I'll just give it to you.
Yeah, just you do all the math. You give me all that math later, and I'll take it.
Okay, so
a
5.
I mean, I can also just do it myself. It's right here.
Okay.
You guys can both math.
5 look. Do you have any upgrades to roll for?
Yes.
Okay, let's just do it. Let's stay with one person, get it done. What is the first skill?
Charm.
Charm. Oh, yeah, what? See, now these other players who haven't been together, they get to see Agatha had to make a motherfucking charm check.
That's unexpected.
On
what the weirdest
the
part
minimum,
is?
15.
15%.
But the weirdest part is that we're all acting this way, and you're the alienist. That's kind of like in your wheelhouse, and we're all like, what the fuck?
Yeah, your charm is the same as mine. That's pretty bad. Yeah.
I actually have a pretty high charm.
So 63.
So you did go above it.
Yeah.
You're at a 15 charm. I will allow you to roll a d10. And how about this? Would you like to also burn 20 luck? And give yourself a d4 along with that upgrade?
Oh, that's a cool idea.
I have
That's a cool
so much
idea.
luck, and why not use it to enhance
Yes,
characters?
I'd love
That's
that.
so
So
That's pretty
25
sweet.
luck total.
Okay.
I
All right.
hope you have to roll another charm check at some point.
So 7. Right?
Well,
Wait,
that d10, but you rolled a d6 instead of a d4.
Oh.
Did I say d4?
Yeah, you
said
said
D4.
D4.
That's okay, because it's a 3. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, because it's, if, it's fine. It's fine.
Actually,
It's
yeah,
fine.
statistically, you're less likely to roll a 3 on a d6 than on a d4, so...
Yeah. Oh, I'll take that then. That's fine.
It's fine. So you're up to 22 charm.
Yes.
What other skill?
Higher than mine.
Psychology, 55.
Yeah.
49. It's never going to go
so
well.
close.
I could, I mean, I could burn all of our reserve luck, hundreds. Would you like to burn 6,000 luck?
I do have chemistry,
We've been
though,
saving
is
up.
checked.
What's chemistry at?
44. So 99 is what I rolled.
99. What's it at?
44.
It's at 44, so that'll be a D10. Yeah, the 20 luck should only be used in one. You would have used it for charm anyway.
Yeah,
Because
I would.
literally somebody could burn 100 luck on their turn.
So that's it, adding 7 to that.
So you're above 50.
Yeah.
Nice.
So what that does is, for everyone who's not really aware, well, I mean, I've probably mentioned this multiple times, When you're making a skill check and you have below 50 in the skill, you fumble on a 56 to 100, or at least that's how I do it. It's been so while. I'm pretty fluid with the rules, But once you have 50 or higher in a skill, you only fumble on a double zero.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Oh, you fumble on a 96 to 100, you mean?
Oh, what does that?
56 to 100.
Oh, yeah, that's my rule. Sorry.
My brain gears were going, wait. Oh,
Wait,
that's
what?
bad. What?
96 to 100, yes. It wouldn't have been 56 to 100. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Is there another skill?
Spot hidden.
What's your spot hidden at?
69.
Yeah.
Would you like to burn 10 luck
Wait.
to not upgrade it? No, I'm just joking. Just roll.
14.
Yeah.
Still at 69.
Yes! I was going to say, if there are no 69s
Nice.
mentioned, not a good omen for us, I think.
It's true.
Is that everything?
But
That is
doesn't-
everything.
That doesn't necessarily mean that mentioning 69 is a good omen.
No, it doesn't. It's
Yeah.
just been consistent, and none of us have died yet.
Good laughter. Amos?
Yeah, there's something fucking wrong with this. Luck's at 63.
Luck's at 63, so you get to add 12 luck. Get it up to 75. And like I said before, higher than 75. I know we could do it, but come on now.
That's fair, I think. I get it. Okay, cool. And then for skills, I only have one, and it's spot hidden.
What's your spot hidden at?
79.
79. What'd you roll?
12.
Okay, you're good.
Yep.
That's a bit quicker.
Thank God. I'm done.
And you are done. As we're going to move off to Althea. How much luck are you at?
I'm actually still at 75 luck.
You are still at... Oh, yeah, that's right. Because, yes. So you're at 75 luck. Any skills you need to check? I don't believe there's too many skill checks.
No, I have 2. Medicine,
What's your medicine at?
70.
Roll.
74.
Okay, so that would be a... So normally it's always a D10, but because it's such a long run campaign, you know what I mean? I'm going to say a D6. But you may also choose to spend 20 luck to add a D4 on this skill check.
Yeah, okay.
Or what's your other skill that you're going to be checking?
Oh, actually, I'll save it for the other one.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. 2. So.
Yeah. I know that sounds a bit counterintuitive sometimes, but it's just that because this is a long form campaign, so I've altered the way some things work to make it go long form. At this point, if I didn't do it this way, everyone would be at like 90. You know what I mean? It just...
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. Makes sense.
The more you know, the less there is.
Yeah. My other skill is chemistry.
And your chemistry's at...
1%.
Okay. Which was success. So roll the percentage.
Don't roll a 1.
98.
98. Okay. So once again, chemistry would be a D10.
Okay.
And you can spend 20 luck to
Add a D4.
add a D4.
Yep. Nice.
4
Total?
2 on the D10 and 2 on the D4.
Hey, knocks it to 5.
Yes, it does. Can actually say that I don't have the base in it right now.
Yeah. This is actually a good way because even doing it this way, we're still not getting through that mountain.
No.
We love you all.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yay!
I'm trying to throw in things that enables them to make their characters more survivable or more knowledgeable.
Yep.
Because there's so much luck, I'm trying to use it as a resource for other things.
Smart.
As we move on to Smirt, as we move on to Marion, and what's your luck at?
Still at 75.
Still at 75?
Yeah.
And skills-wise?
I've got, I was looking at it. Oh, first aid
First aid, what's your first aid at?
is at 44.
Go ahead, roll it up percentage.
80.
Hey, 44. So that's 1d10. Oh, well, yeah.
Excuse me. That's you.
And is there another skill before we move on?
Just spot hidden.
Yeah, did you want to spend 20 luck to add an extra d4?
Yes, I would.
To spot hidden?
Not to spot hidden.
No,
First
no.
aid.
First aid.
That's why I'm using it now.
There's so
Her
much.
spot hidden's in a good spot. Her spot hidden's in a good spot.
Hidden?
That's adding 6, so now I'm at 50.
You're exactly at 50?
Exactly 50.
Critical fumbles at 100%.
Yay.
Which is good for first aid. And your next skill would be...
Is spot hidden.
Did you spend the 20 luck on that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm also keeping track.
And my
of
spot
it.
hidden is at 69, and I rolled a 43.
Okay.
Stays
69.
at 69. Nice.
Okay, so that's everyone's skills and everyone's luck. I know we used to do this off screen, but I think some viewers wanted to see the process every now and then, and I thought it's good at this point to. Why not do it on camera? It's just a velociraptor. Yes.
Almost like a T-Rex. It's tiny arm.
Okay, so now that that's taken care of, which party am I going to be running with this time? I believe we finished up. It doesn't matter who we finished up with. I think I'm going to stick with hashtag Team Marion and Althea for this episode.
Yeah.
Sounds about right. Hashtag keeper has favorites.
Oh. Ouch.
Hashtag get the fuck out, but please bring me my bottle of water.
You want me to do things for you? That sounded better in my head.
I'm okay being with Marion because history says, thanks to the machete episode, that Marion's got a horseshoe up her butt.
I also run fast.
That wasn't a
That
horseshoe.
too.
She just was smarter than the rest of us.
I'm gonna do this so that maybe you're nice to me when I come back and play.
Okay, I believe it's been a little bit since we played, but I believe we left off with Marion and Althea, and you had an episode of pretty much discussing the goo and such like that. I can't exactly recall exactly how that episode ended, to be honest. It's been a little bit.
I think we were continuing to explore the room, and we were specifically looking for any notes or information about the experiment that was being done.
You were going to drain more tanks.
I did until the drain in the center of the room started getting
Bit
plugged up.
because of the sock.
I never said it was because of the sock.
Well, it's also because you can't
Crusty old sock. In
the floor drain is only so big, and
Yeah.
the tanks
Are full.
you can't
We
drain
just
them all.
started cracking them all open.
Yeah.
So I stopped.
Yes, you do notice, of course, that some of the things you talked about seemed to be some kind of experiment, maybe, where they were trying different
Mixtures.
You're not sure what the catalysts are, stuff like that, but you do realize when they're fully, when the tanks are fully drained, that the figures that look to be the same look to be skeet,
Yeah.
right, or just covered in liquid, but they seem to sort of melt into this clear goo residue.
Yeah.
So it seems to be that they are two separate things, but connected, as if one was experimented on and created from the other, or there's something that you're not really sure about.
And what I would particularly, I didn't say this last time, I'm just going to say this now while we're walking towards looking for notes. What I would particularly, Althea, like to find out, these bodies are melting as soon as they are no longer submerged in the black liquid. If this experiment is what led to the duplicate skeet that Amos saw and that we ended up coming in contact with, why didn't it melt?
Hopefully that's something we'll find out.
Yeah.
Is there a point when we're going to drain a tank and whatever's inside is not going to disintegrate?
Well, this is the thing. So you've had a few tanks now that you open up the drain. It seemed to be rising a little because the drain can't handle it because of different reasons. But let's not forget that you've only got one sock now. 1 foot without sock, 1 foot with sock. Very important. This will definitely become very important.
One foot's slightly cold.
As we move on, you do notice that there are almost like pot lights, even though they're not because it's the 20s.
Yeah.
They probably did have pot lights. I don't know.
But that's the kind of light it's shedding. Putting out in there.
So I'm just looking at it as you're planning on inspecting further into the room.
Yeah.
It is a little bit, the lights aren't super bright further in.
I do have my flashlight with me.
You do have the appropriate flashlight for Marion in this era.
The only one that exists in this
Hashtag keeper's favorite.
world. Pretty much. Yeah.
You don't want to be the favorite. It would be less interesting.
It's true.
You wouldn't have that really wonderful book that you keep around with you at all times.
And the other thing is, let's be honest, as a keeper, I do not have favorites.
Yeah.
Right?
Except for Skeet.
Marion gets a flashlight because she annoyed you the least during one game or something. Anyway, moving on.
Yes. Moving on. So I'm just going to say you're going to be exploring the back of the room with the light, with the little flashlight as you're sort of poking around. So as you move past a lot of these large, and I'll describe them again to a point. They seem like those you'd see in a magician show or something, the large vats that would be filled with water, and people would try to be chained up and they'd escape from, and that's what it seems. And plus the book, the Illusionist Handbook that was opened up in the library and along those things. This is what it sort of seems like. Something is sort of in your brain a little bit. It's a bit weird that they are, I guess, fully open.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
Something else, which I'm not even going to call for a roll for, but as you think about it, also at the house, that'd be case number 0221. When you were investigating the outside of the house, Gall's house, or more appropriately, the haunted house, or whatever. In the back, you did find a shed with a barrel filled with this liquid as well.
Yeah.
But it was also open.
Yeah.
But it was also open. Right? So that could be something to do with the process.
Yeah.
You're not entirely sure. That maybe. I know. I mean, it could fall under skill check, but I just don't want it to.
That's fair.
Right? It's just both your characters are quite intelligent, so it's easy enough to find some kind of connection.
At the haunted house,
yes,
we encountered exceptionally abnormally large centipede. Was it?
Yes, there was. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. Just let me quickly just go to the bottom.
Oh no, I remember it came up through the floorboards in like the living room area.
In the foot, I believe.
Yeah, it did.
Just give me.
But
one
it was
second.
abnormally large because we were like looking at the floorboards because we could see like there seemed to be goo underneath them or something, like the black goo.
Yeah.
My notes say coat hanging, damp and smelly. Agatha checks inside pocket. There was a large centipede. Agatha flicks the centipede into Althea Goodyear's face. Crawls into here. Thrown down, disappears on the floor. Sloppy, squirmy sound from under floorboards.
Yeah.
And a massive centipede with this black goo started rumbling underneath the floor. That was 0222, the living room. There was a lot of black mold and stuff in that house as well, and it was almost like throbbing. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway.
There was just a lot of uncomfortable in that house.
Yeah, that's me. Just a lot of uncomfortable. Okay, fair enough. So as you're shining the light, almost immediately, as you just sort of walk around the vats and you shine the light, against the far wall, you see, against the side wall, that was sort of, seeing it was sort of covered by vats, because like I said, as you walk in, there's a pile of vats everywhere. It seems to be, what is your mechanical skill? I believe it's called mechanical repair.
Mechanical repair 63.
Yeah, so 63. Just looking at it, you're like, oh, it seems to be some kind of mechanical pump.
Oh.
So there seems to be a pump there. And there seems to be, on the wall, a little bit haphazard, but there seems to be like hose attachments. And, even from your distance, you can notice that it's built into the wall. And with your 63, that it's connected on the outside of the wall as well. Okay. So it could be a way to pump in or pump out something. From inside, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Hose attachments connected through the wall. You see that there. And also then, as you're looking at that, and I mean, it is still a bit dim, like
is there
in the front seem
a
to be
window
brighter.
or a door?
Well, I'm just saying what you see as you go along. You also notice that even though I said it might have been more set up like a Quonset or something like that, it does seem to be like a type of sheet metal, if you will. Like there's this, which you haven't really seen, like especially at this end.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Is that's what you see, and it's sort of connected, so it's a bit more malleable. And then as you're just shining the light, because you can see shapes and stuff, but like it's still a little bit dim from the lights, whereas brighter on the other end, which I've said multiple times. I don't know why. You see some like pallet jacks, and then you recall with the vats there are slots.
Yeah.
These are non-hydraulic, because I don't actually remember when they were invented, but I'm pretty sure it was the 30s, but pallet jacks have existed, but they're more like...
It's manually... Like,
Yeah. That's sort of what it is, but you can see a couple of those there. So there is some tools and stuff around this back of the room.
Stuff you would find in like a factory or a warehouse or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then like right next to that, there seems to be almost like a mini crane sort of type of thing.
Okay.
Something to help with loading or stuff like that.
Okay.
Vintage pallet jacks is what I got wrote down.
Like a pulley system and stuff to help lift and move heavy objects.
Yeah, exactly. Some come-alongs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right? So you do see along this back right wall, there's a pile of this equipment and stuff to manage the moving or draining or filling of these things. Before we move on... now, of course, you'd have to inspect it more to figure, for example, how workable it is. You're not sure how old this... how long it's been here, maybe if it's used in a while.
Is there a fair amount of dust around? Like when we walked in, what did it...
No, there didn't
Is
seem
that
to
something
be...
we would have noticed?
When you walked in, there didn't seem to be much, a lot of dust in the front part. But back... Go ahead, sorry.
I think you said when we first went in that it seemed fairly clean.
Yes, exactly.
When we first entered.
Yeah, when you first entered. But in this back area... there does seem to be a little bit of dust, but like it's not
like this has been abandoned for years kind of dust buildup.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so a little bit, but not like... Okay, cool.
Yeah. It's just,
Yeah.
Okay. And as you're then shining your light at the far end, so basically, it's just, look at it as just a square warehouse room. You come in from, let's say, one of the short ends.
Okay.
There's a pile of vats. As you move behind the vats against this right... Sorry, I got my arms everywhere. Against this right wall, there's a pile of tools and equipment and stuff like that that's laid out there. And then as you shine your light past another couple of vats, you can see what it looks to be like a garage door.
Oh.
Okay.
Is what it looks like. And I had to double check this, but 1921, so yeah, it fits. Yeah. There's a garage.
There's a door
type of garage door, if you will. It isn't automatic or anything like that, but there is.
Pull open.
But I mean, they've been around a long time, not just 21, but I think actually automatic was like 21.
Oh wow. Okay.
And then there's a man door that's next to it.
Yeah, like a regular side door.
You notice that this back end of the room, the lights are flickering a little bit. Okay. Nothing, not like you hear the supernatural screams.
Ominous.
Yeah, it doesn't seem ominous. It's just not all lights are created equal, I guess. So that's basically what you see here. And there's a few more vats and stuff like that, but that's basically the things you see around here. You do see to the left of the doors, there seems to be a desk there. There just seems to be a desk there.
Yeah, I was going to ask if there were any like workbenches.
Yeah,
stuff like
sort of like a workbench is there, I should say. There are a couple of workbenches, and you can see, what are they called?
Crank?
Yeah, it's. Oh my God, my mind's drawing a blank. I use them at work all the time, but it's like a grip. What
are they called?
Yeah, my mind.
It's
and
like
I work
it holds onto a thing for you, so you can work on it.
Yeah,
and then,
okay.
I work with them all the time.
Like you can just put it on like something you're gonna pull on or
it's to hold something in place.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I can't believe I'm having this brain fire considering how much
also
I
having
use
it.
them. How much I use them is ridiculous.
Okay. But we know.
I wonder if they call them clamps in the States.
You know what? That could be what it is.
They do now. In Boston in 1923, they were called clamps.
The clamps!
Anyway, we spent a lot of time on
We
this.
have time talking about clamps. I'm sorry, everybody. Some of this may be cut out and some of it may not because, I don't know why
Tangents.
my
Anyway.
mind is working this way. Anyway, so this is what you sort of...
Yep. All right.
see around.
We want to inspect the desk, the workbench then.
Okay, so as you start walking toward, I need you both to roll me listen checks.
Yep.
As you start walking behind the vats.
Ooh. That's really good noises. As well. 18 out of 40.
Okay, put a tick and listen. Marion?
2% out of 30.
Oh!
Put a tick and listen for
You got an
Althea.
extreme and I got a hard.
It's almost like we're paranoid while being here.
You hear it to be quite faint, although as you start moving to the back of the room, there almost seems to be, when you were in the front of the room, there was almost like this slight, with the door open that you came in from, there seems to be almost this slight, and it was almost imperceptible to you, but this slight humming in your ears. There was this slight hum that you just sort of...
Like a mechanical
hum? It didn't even really register to you. Mm-hmm. But as you're moving to the back of the room, as you're moving away from that door, that it's just this
is it
it's
like,
just this drone.
Is it like a hum, like a person doing a...
No.
Or is it a hum like an electrical hum? Like current?
It almost seems like, a mechanical hum or an electrical hum. This slight...
Machinery, some kind of...
It could be. I just can't say it is.
But you said it's coming from the direction of like the door?
No, I just meant...
Yeah, we just hear it.
No. As you're moving from the door in, as you're getting further back, that hum is going away, so it's making it easier for you to hear other things. I just meant there was this drone that was...
Okay, yes, I misunderstood. Yeah, okay.
Yeah!
Yeah, I gotcha.
But what you start hearing, it sounds a little bit strange to you. You almost hear like the sounds of work, like a bustling noise, like things being moved. It's almost faint, but of course it seems to be on the other side of the garage door and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Almost this faint, this sound of people working off in the distance. That's what you sort of hear.
Does it sound like the kitchen when we were in there?
No.
It sounds like a workspace, like a warehouse or a factory or something, or like...
You're not entirely sure. Let me see if I can pull up a check here. Let's see if there's something... Actually, I think this might fall under idea roll for sure.
Okay.
Just roll me an idea roll.
83 out of 70 for me.
Should I roll that one as well?
Yes, you can roll that roll as well. Well, let's get you both.
16 out of 65.
Okay. So as you're listening and Althea starts saying, it could be a factory, it could be a warehouse. You start thinking just the sound of it and how it's not an echoing at all. It almost seems like that's not it.
Oh, okay.
Right? It's almost this sound of work happening.
Yeah.
Right? But it seems like it's off in the distance. And the noises are coming from different differences as well. It would either have to be a massive facility or it's outdoors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? Because it's, the drone of people.
Yeah.
So
because we're locusts.
It sounds like work, but we can't, determine, what kind of work it is.
True.
Kind of thing.
At the moment,
At the moment.
At the moment, yeah.
Okay. Well, and we're closer to that garage door.
Well, you're going to walk by the garage door, and there's a man door there as well. Yeah, to get to the desk, yeah. It's not super, the desk is around, the workbenches, I should say, around 10 feet away from the garage door, up against the wall.
All right, yeah. All right.
Yeah, so you're sort of walking by the man door in the garage itself.
Okay.
I'm going to pass Althea my flashlight.
Okay.
Turns to a big one.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Careful, it's heavy. I'm gonna say, take a look at the desk. I just want to listen at the door for a minute.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So Marion moves over to the man door.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna go to Althea first. As you just quickly go over to the desk, and as you shine light, you can see some tools and stuff like that. Now there is a little bit of dust. It isn't perfectly pristine back here. You're not entirely sure. You have a feeling that this area is used from time to time. It isn't a place. This room isn't a place where continuous work happens.
Yes. Okay.
There's gaps between work.
Yeah.
Okay, is the easiest way for me to put it.
Okay.
Which is weird for you to know, being Althea, you're not really used to a hard day's work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of just do what you do when you want to do it.
But having a very large house, I do know what dust looks like when something hasn't been dusted for a while or used for a while. That could be my frame of reference. I went into a wing. Oh, this wing is dusty. We haven't been in here for a while.
Why doesn't it look familiar?
Okay. So are there any logs, notes, books, manuals, anything that's like handwritten or typed or like anything besides actual tools to be used here. Drawers in the table or the bench, cupboards you can open, that kind of thing. Anything.
You don't really find much of anything. There is a couple of like loose sheets of paper that just have sort of measurements laid out on it and a crude drawing of the bats, like how big they are.
Okay.
And stuff like that, but it just seems to be like nobody's signature, I should say, or no like ritual books or stuff like that. You find that what would that be under? Can you roll me a forensics roll, please?
Okay. Which dice do I want to use? Let's see if the pink ones hate me today.
That works. I was going to say forensic seems like you should use the bloody dice.
They don't like me, but they're warming up. 53 out of 44.
Okay, did you want to burn 9 luck?
Yes. Yeah.
There's tons of luck that the viewers and the listeners have given out, so it would be a shame not to use it.
Yes. I have burned 9 luck.
Yeah, you do not get some skills allowed. Like if you get a 1% and you cut down on luck to pay, sometimes I'm like, give yourself the tick. Why not make it increase? Yeah. But you said you already got a 40-something in forensics?
Yeah. 44 in forensics. All right.
So
so now I have a 44 out of 44.
So no tick.
Oh, right, yes.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yep.
I wasn't clear.
I forgot.
Because you burned luck to do it, which is fine, because it just means you have more luck to burn after for it.
Yeah.
You realize that there's maybe, I'm just going to say there's like 4 or 5 loose sheets amongst the workbenches with drawings on them. You can see one of the pages very quickly seems to have, it's almost like a doodle, but it seems to be the drawing of like a sailing ship.
Oh.
Okay.
Like an old sailing ship.
Okay.
Interesting.
Right? But the other ones seem to be just measurements.
Like, like schematics and stuff like that.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, so there's measurements and stuff like that, and different little diagrams are written on it. But what the forensics for is you realize all of this was written by this, like drawn and written by the same person.
Okay.
Right? It's the same things, even though some of the pages seem older than others. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I want to take one of the sheets that has like the schematics, measurements and stuff on it, and I want to take the sheet with the sailing ship doodle, crude drawing, and I want to take them with me and like shove them like inside if I can.
No, always continue your thought when I do that.
That is my thought. I want to take them, just like shove them like either inside my shirt if I can hold them or somewhere.
Sure.
Yeah.
So as you're doing that and you're at the table, I'm going to step back to Marion because I don't want to get you too far ahead.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to go talk to Marion about this. Well, I haven't did Marion yet, so you're going to have to wait.
Yeah.
So Marion, as you move over to the man door, as you get close to it, you smell... It seems a little bit surprising to you, but you smell like salt air.
Oh.
You smell fish. Like, I'm not sure how to put it, but to see if it.
Like
well, I do know how to put it. It smells like
that sort of fishy, briny smell that you get next to the ocean.
Yeah, that's exactly what you smell. And you were over there to roll a listen check again.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say you just put. I'm just going to treat your previous listen as you sort of put your ear against the door. And now that you're a little bit closer, can you now roll me another idea roll? I think it would fall under idea. I'm trying to see a skill that it could fall under.
Natural world?
Are you going for like an intuition thing or like...
It's just trying
like
to...
instinct or something like that?
It's just trying to recognize something. Okay. Is what it is. I think I'm just going to fall under idea because, it would make sense. Just something you know about town. That's it.
That is a 55 out of 65.
55 out of 65. The sound seems like the sound that would be at the docks.
Okay.
Yeah, the sound seems to be what you'd potentially hear or smell at the docks, because the docks can be quite busy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so as you're listening, you're sort of piecing that together, and that seems wrong. Althea, of course, you're just, because that was very quick, you managed to take some papers and you put it into thing. At the moment, you're both startled. Okay?
Okay.
From the sound of what can only be described as a large ship's horn. A long blast, like the sound of it, one long blast of a
ship.
Ship's
Like that.
horn. I'm
Glad you
sure
did it.
Zach will have a
I hope he puts the sound effect right when it sounds like you are about to make the sound effect. And it's like, oh, wow, Derek, that was great.
Yeah.
Does either of you have points in navigate?
No, just the base
You can both
10.
roll. You can both roll the 10 anyway.
I'm going to roll a tiny dice. On the
Why
actual.
not give it a check? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
What you get?
61 out of 10.
48 out of 10.
Yeah, at this point, you're not going to burn 50
Not that
luck.
much.
But you hear one long blast.
Yeah.
This is my point of like a ship's horn. Like off sort of outside,
Yeah.
off in the distance.
I'm going to crack the door open.
Okay, just give me 1 second here. Yeah, so as you sort of turn the knob and push it, you notice that it's not really moving out. It's almost like there's something against the door. It's not locked, but it's
okay.
almost like there's something against the door on the other side that's sort of keeping it in place. Would you like to make a strength check to try to push open the door?
Yes.
Okay.
My strength is very low, but I'm
Okay.
going to try it anyways. Oh my gosh. 37 out of 40.
37. Can you roll me a luck roll as well, please?
Yes, I can. Let's keep swapping dice just because it's fun. 50 out of 75.
50 out of 75. Okay, so what happens is you die.
Ah, but I'm lucky.
Yeah, so the first thing is as you're, you think, because the door opens out.
Mm-hmm.
So as you turn the knob and you sort of shoulder it into the door, you almost double over in pain.
Oh.
But you don't, because of your luck roll. Because you do know that you were hit with a dummy round in the shoulder, so your
I
arm
even
hurts.
have a note on that. Left shoulder is sore.
And even though it happened years ago in our time,
And that was like 2 days ago.
you also, Agatha had came down the ladder in the bell tower, 0216, the bell tower. I don't know all these off by heart. I have made some notes, but 02 bell tower where the ladder had fell and you had hurt your back.
Oh, yeah.
So you start feeling as you're pushing on this door, this strain, but the luck roll was fine. You are fine.
Feeling how much we've all aged over 2 weeks.
Yeah. As you sort of nudge the door and the door sort of grinds open as you're pushing.
Okay.
What's on the other side?
If once it opens just a little bit because of the pain, I'm going to stop.
Yeah. So you get it open enough so you can see out, and what you seem to see is it is dark at this point. We're evening. You have been in here for a while. You're not sure how long, but the Silver Twilight Lodge event was a bit later in today.
Okay. Yeah.
Correct? When you went there. So you have spent a bit of time here, but you also don't know how long,
Yeah.
because you don't know where you were.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? You don't know.
We've experienced some weird shit.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe the
Yeah.
entire thing. But as you push it open and you look, you can see that you seem to be in one of the alleyways between warehouses in the Boston docks. And as you're looking out, you can see all these crates and stuff along, and this seems to be a warehouse resembling any other of these small temporary structures or warehouses that have been set up all over the Boston docks. And as you look, you can see that while I was blocking it, there was a stack of pallets just piled up on the door storage on this side of the door that potentially would be moved out of the way. The door wasn't locked at all. But it just seems to be one of a multitude of buildings at the docks. And you can see people at the end of the alleyway. You can see a fairly large ship there. Like a steamer ship, if you will. What's that look for?
Nothing.
You see like a fairly large steamship, but you can also see a lot of lights and stuff as if there's, there's other ships there. You can see people loading and offloading ships, and off in the distance, people like walking along. But you can only see this angle. I'm sure, you get the smell of the docks and a lot of people just off in the distance, working and talking and going through their daily
I
thing.
turn back to Althea and close the door as I do so, and I've just got this. Oh.
As you turn to Althea, and you're just about to close the door, you see very quick movement as a shape seems to come out of nowhere toward the gap in the door, just as you're about to close.
From the room
Outside.
from outside.
From outside.
From the docks.
Yeah, from outside. So I need you to roll me a dexterity check.
That one I'm good at.
And then I'm going to roll...
Knock on wood.
Well, actually, yeah, it's true.
It's opposed, because I'm rolling...
This will be the one that I fumble.
I have made a regular success.
I have also made a regular success.
Yeah, so basically what happens is I'm just going to say it gives you the chance to see what it is, and then you can decide whether you want to continue to close the door. It's a raven. It's a raven with an interesting little crown of feathers, and it seems to just be flying down from a side building, almost as if it was waiting for that door to be opened. Okay, that's what it seems like. It's a raven that you recall seeing at the Church of Contemplation. You haven't really seen much of it beyond that. You just know that Amos, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Has mentioned this particular raven. I believe it's Regal.
He's Regal.
It's Regal. It's flying down toward the opening in the door. And it's almost like he flaps his wings and he's sort of gliding, almost sideways to try to come through the door.
I'm going to step back, leave the door open.
And he just
What?
flies through and nudges the door and he's like, ah!
Althea?
Impressed raven noises! Raven noises!
What's an impressed raven noise?
But he flies in, and then on top of one of the vats, he just perches on the lip. And he's sort of just like looking down at both of you.
Did I hear the sound of this raven?
You look, as you just finished playing things, you look over at Marion. As Marion looks back at you, you see Marion shoot to the door, and then you see a black shape fly through the door. And it takes a second of shock. There's not much you can do
there was
about
the
it.
horn for the ship too, right?
But you realize that it's Regal the Raven. And he seems to be perched on top of one of the vats. See a hand come up, grab and pull that. No, I wouldn't do that. But he seems to be, not right now, he seems to be perched on top and he's just sort of looking down at you and he's making raven noises. And he's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like poking at the glass and he's just sort of
doing...
looking at you.
I sort of point at Regal, and then I shake my head, and I look at Althea, and I was like, and I just go, how does this door connect to? We're at the docks.
At the same time that Marion talks to you, you hear a little squeaky voice on your shoulder, and like so you're. This is going to be a little interesting because Marion's talking to you. Marion, you don't see anything.
Do not.
Yeah.
Right? You're not sharing in this
shared
psychosis wreck.
Shared psychosis.
Shared psychosis
Gotten very
wreck.
much sleep recently.
And Montgomery.
Yeah.
He's got his arms crossed. And you see him just sort of glaring up at the raven. And he's
Montgomery
like...
doesn't like Regal.
Right? And Montgomery is just like, for fuck's sakes. The fuck? And the raven, notice very quickly that as Montgomery says that, the raven focuses on Montgomery and starts making little clicking raven noises.
Yeah.
And Montgomery's like, doesn't sound good enough to me. So, how would you like to progress in the conversation with Marion, Montgomery, or Regal?
Okay, I have so many things happening in my brain.
Exactly,
right now,
that's the whole point.
And I have to get them out in character. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So Montgomery, whenever he appears, it is always been normal to me, like he's been there the whole time.
Yeah. He's always been there.
So I'll just say,
Always.
Montgomery, where? Okay, one thing at a time. Marion, did you say we're at the docks?
At the Boston docks. I lived near there for almost my entire life. I would recognize it in an instant. But we were on the other side of town.
We're in the center of the city, right? Lodger's in the center of the city.
Yeah, give or take, yeah.
Yeah. That it's not actually possible that
It's not.
that we.
It's at least a 25, 30-minute drive.
Yeah. I'll say that in character. It's at least a 25-minute drive away.
It's not. It's not any type of illusion. It's not any type of theater stage. It is the docks. You can see see into the ocean. You can hear people talking to each other. Look, and the door is still open because I didn't actually close it because Regal was flying through. It's like, look for yourself.
And I'll pop out and I'll slowly walk over to the door and just kind of look outside.
Yeah, and I'm not going to describe it again, but you sort of see the same thing. You can see this steamer ship.
Is it the Boston docks?
It seems to be. It seems to be, is my point. From your alleyway, it's hard to tell.
I asked that question because I have a theory going together in my head, but
I suppose there have been a number of theories recently about the relationship of time and of space and how one can become disoriented traveling when experiencing unusual circumstances, that we don't notice the passage of time. We could have very easily traveled a fair distance if there were perhaps the Silver Twilight Lodge had tunnels beneath the city that we could move to locations they wished, but except we went to the third floor.
Marion, we went upstairs and the keys were... And then I'm going to look up at Regal again and say...
Confused raven noises.
Montgomery.
Hungry raven noises.
What is this bird?
Well, that is a raven. It just flew in through the door.
And Marion, you do hear Althea say, though, looking at her shoulder and saying, Montgomery. What even is that bird? So I'm just trying to preempt it with, you can, whatever Althea is saying and what her reactions would be, you would hear it, but I'm just going to give Montgomery's response.
Yeah.
Montgomery looks surprised that you're talking to him. It normally has that grumpy, I'm Montgomery. It's been so long since I did his voice. I apologize to everyone. It's like everyone has a multitude of accents. We're not just bound by one way of talking.
No, of course not.
He mostly just sounds disgruntled.
Yeah, but he just sort of looks at you and you can see him literally, and he sort of waves his little paw, like, and he's like, oh, you're willing to pay attention to me again. I thought you were gone.
What do you mean willing to pay attention to me?
Well, you've been so, the book.
I'm right here, Althea. What are you talking about?
We had an argument, but it wasn't even...
An argument? No, you're working on the play. Aren't you going to try to save or do something about Aloysius?
What argument? Are you feeling all right?
I'm fine, Marion, as well as I can be in this situation. Okay, we can talk about that later. I mean, but this bird, Montgomery, what is it?
Well, it's the raven.
But did you just suggest that the bird is named Montgomery?
No. Didn't Amos name him Regal?
Yeah, because they're both going to answer you at the same time.
Yeah.
So, but we can only do it one at a time.
Yeah.
So, Marion, what were you going to say in response to that? And then I'll have Montgomery say something at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just going to go, yes, assuming it's the same bird?
And Montgomery says at the exact same time,
Yeah.
no, Regal's not his name. Regal is not its name. Regal's not its name. No, that's just what, that's what Mr. Detective called him. No, that's the Raven. The Raven.
Raven.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know?
Okay, so I have a couple of theories coming out that I'm going to say them out loud, player, but I want to say them out loud so that I can kind of get it out in character, like to have these things click in Althea's head, potentially. Okay, so the places we've seen Regal the Raven: Church of Contemplation, outside the police station, here.
And I'm not sure if Amos had mentioned it to you, but he had also, Regal the Raven had also showed up in the alleyway fight with Gaul.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
So, all right. Marion. All right, I need both of us to let go of everything scientific and normal that we know at the moment and talk about what has been happening to us in the past however amount of time since we came into this place.
Well, we know that science can't explain everything. We've seen many instances of what is beyond our current understanding.
Our current understanding. Yes.
It's most likely that there's some connection here to... Perhaps we were actually quite a bit closer to the docks than we thought we were when we arrived at the Silver Twilight Lodge. Boston is a confusing city.
And at the same time, Montgomery seems to be just nodding along to what Marion's saying.
All right.
That makes a lot of sense. Like, there's the way science is, but we don't have time for this. I don't know how long before you lose me again.
All right, just hang on. Okay. And I'll just look at I'll look at my shoulder. I won't say anything, but I'll look at my shoulder and just be like, okay, Marion. Okay, we both know that is the most logical explanation, okay? But I'm going to theorize, I have this thought. Okay, places we've seen Regal the Raven. Let's go back to the first time we saw him was the Church of Contemplation, I believe, was the first time we saw him.
Yeah, pretty sure.
And we saw him there, and those, whoever they were, cultists, they came out of nowhere.
No, they surprised us. But
They surprised me on my own. They came out of nowhere. And then took me. And then we saw him outside the police station. And I know Amos said what happened with Gaul across the street in the alley from the police station.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
No,
I
go
don't mean
ahead.
to keep interrupting and stop the flow of the role playing, because I know we need to do more of it, but I'm just going to, for the listeners, I'm just going to assume that if it wasn't brought up in an episode, that during a little bit of downtime, a little bit you've had, that Amos has mentioned more about Regal. So that way that's clarified. You do know that your memory is still a little bit fuzzy about what happened at the Church of Contemplation.
Yes. But I do know that I was surprised by, whatever.
And at this point, I'm going to say, as you're talking and trying to sound it out, it almost looks like Montgomery's flickering. Like he's flickering in and out, and he's just looking at you, and he seems to be almost waiting for you.
Okay.
As you're trying to work out, you realize that there isn't a lot of time if you want to deal with Montgomery.
All right. And he told us what happened with Gaul. Regal was outside in that area. We saw him outside the police station. And now we see him here. Hold on one second. Are you all right? I'll pay attention to him. What's happening to you?
I don't know, but whatever. I think I had a voice for him, and I feel bad.
I don't remember what it was.
Whatever you're doing and whatever you're working on, it's cutting me off. I've been here the entire time, but you just don't listen to me anymore. I can't get through. And he seems to be really, like, not just disgruntled as he usually looks, but he seems to be almost even getting fading more and more. Like,
Okay, Althea, I'm gonna put my hands on her shoulders. I'm all right. Nothing has happened to me. You seem to be... I understand you probably didn't get a lot of sleep last night, and this shift in space seems to have maybe upset you a little bit more. So why don't we go back with where we came? We don't need to be at the docks, and this room doesn't lead to anywhere else. We've found everything we need to find out here. Let's look somewhere else. We still have to find Alistair. We still have to find Agatha and Amos. Why don't we just, we'll go away from this door, from this room. It's fine. You know, it's okay. It's okay.
Marion, I'm fine. Close the door if you need to. It's probably not a good idea to have it open anyway. And I'm going to actually reach up with my hand to try and take Montgomery into my hand instead of having him on my shoulder.
Okay, so as you reach your hand up, you see Montgomery is on your shoulder, and he's looking even bit like he always settles into resting, disgruntled bitch face. Is what he's doing, and he's sort of steps off onto your hand, and he's just like, you need to get a hold of yourself, Althea. You need to get a hold of yourself. You need to find the strength to deny him. Don't you understand? You need to. You're not meant to usher him in. As he just seems to be fading.
I don't know what you're talking about. But no one has ever forced me to do anything. I am a good year. And I do as I want. I do my own will, nobody else's.
Yeah. That reminds me, good year, right? Just like Aloysius was a good year, and he wouldn't do anything for anyone else. And just like Gordon was a good year. And look what happened to him. I'm telling you, you need to get all this up. But that's not what this is about. And then you're both hear the sound of Regal up on the vat just starts cawing loudly.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Making raven noises.
Yeah, okay.
He's doing raven things.
Is he like just, does it seem like he's alerting? Making sense that would alert us to something?
You're not really sure. He's just making raven noises as like maybe he's communicating with other ravens, because that's all we think of ravens, right? Whenever a creature makes noise, we're like, who's he talking to?
Yeah.
Because he can't just make noise,
Yeah,
right?
no, of course not.
Not like, because humans don't just make noises for no reason.
Yeah.
But Montgomery, when Regal's doing that, looks up at Regal, and he looks back at you, Althea, Montgomery, and he looks so sad. And he's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so. And he seems to be fading more and more as he's just like, I'm so sorry, Althea. I'm sorry for what's coming. I'm sorry for what's gonna happen. You need to find the strength. And then he gets cut off as he disappears from your hand.
But Montgomery?
And as that's kind of been happening, I'm like sort of trying to usher Althea away. I leave the door open.
But I'm just going to ask Althea to finish that scene, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't mean to
I'll just look at my hand and be like, Montgomery, because he's always been with me. Like, right? Marion, he's gone. He's gone. He's left me. Marion, I've never been without him. What do I do?
You are we're going to take you back to your house, and you will have a rest.
A rest?
Yes. It's just a bird? Is that what you're concerned about?
Althea's just looking at her with confusion, like, a bird? Like, are you crazy? Are you blind? Like, that's the expression on her face.
Well,
Okay.
He's making noise. I left the door open so he can fly out if he wants.
Okay. I'll deal with my own. I'll deal with my own stuff later. We are here to figure out what the hell is going on and find Alistair. So I'll just worry about everything else after. Okay, what were we talking about? We were
We're leaving this room.
No. We've only just started to scratch the surface of what is going on here.
Well, did you You seemed upset.
Well, it's a lot.
Did you find any information or
yes, and I'll just reach into my shirt and I'll pull out the 2 pieces of paper. I'll be like, this is pretty much what was there. More of these types of measurements, drawing schematics, and this, a picture of a sailing ship. And we're on the docks?
Yes. There's some sort of spatial link. Some sort of connection, some sort of perhaps there is some a type of transportation system that we don't know about yet. But as you said, we are here to find Alistair. This mystery that we've uncovered here does answer a few questions, although it asks as many as it answers. We have some additional information that you're taking with you, which we can continue to investigate.
Marion.
What?
Marion.
What?
Gaul. The Raven? The Raven.
As you say that, the Raven. This is you haven't looked at the Raven for a little bit.
It's
Like
just a raven.
for a conversation.
Yeah, it's just a bird.
But it seems to be, you both notice it's just staring intently. Not moving, just staring intently at Althea. It just has this look.
Everywhere we've seen the Raven, whether it was actually in the same space or just in the same area, have we also seen Gaul?
No.
No?
Gaul wasn't at the Church of Contemplation.
Yes, he was. He ran. Amos shot at him. He went down a grate.
Yeah, the second time when you had to go back, Gaul was there.
But we saw the Raven the first time we went there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did, yeah. I can always check the Bible. Continue your talking, though.
We saw Gaul. We saw Gaul at the Church of Contemplation. We saw the Raven there. We saw Gaul. We know he was in the alley across from the police station. We saw the Raven there. We've seen Gaul here. And now the Raven? Oh my god.
Do you think
Marion.
the Raven is Gaul's pet?
I don't know, but they... Okay, let's think about what we do know and what we've experienced since we got here. We know the most logical explanation. The most logical explanation is that we have moved through a space that we can't see from the outside. We could have gone through tunnels under the city. That's how we're here. We don't know. But let's just look at what's happened. The keys, the library. The library was not, its space was not, it shouldn't have fit there. It shouldn't have fit there, Marion.
This entire building is
It's
warped.
so strange.
from where it should be.
And then the keys. We open doors to... The same door cannot lead to the same place, so we use a key, and the key takes us somewhere else. And now we've opened a door here, and it takes us somewhere else that we shouldn't be anywhere near.
Althea, your house also has spaces that lead where they should not.
Gull knows. He knows that about these doors. He knows. I'll bet you, Marion, we leave here, we go back to that alley. We go to the alley by the police station. Amos said that, just regardless of how he approached, Gull said we need to talk. He wanted to... I don't know how he would have a conversation with anyone, but what if he didn't mean Amos harm? What if he wanted to show him a door?
You think there are other keys?
We have other keys that we haven't even used yet. And I'll pull out,
You've used all 3 keys.
Have we? Okay.
Yeah, but you had to roll a die at the time of using it. And while we have this, just slow down for a second, which is really good. Regal only showed up on the second visit to the Road to Contemplation.
Oh.
And Gull was also there on the second visit.
Yeah, and Gull wasn't there on the first.
And we saw Regal, and Gull is in the area of the police station. Gull and Regal in the area of the lodge. He wanted to show Amos a door. He wanted to... God, I can't say help. I can't say help, but he has definitely proven that he is no friend to the people who occupy this building, for lack of a better word. But... God, this just... I don't like this bird. I don't like this raven.
Then let's leave.
But what if there's more? There's more here to find. At the very least, let us drain a different set of vats, ones that are completely separate from the first ones.
What are we going to learn here that will help us find Alistair? We know now that there's a door here from this warehouse. It may take us a while to find it. You have some notes. We have additional information that we can follow up on. And we can always come back to the Silver Twilight Lodge. It will be more difficult to sneak in next time, but we can always find a way if we keep the keys.
Marion.
What?
What kind of... How did Simon and Alistair keep people... Like, what kind of security did they have for the center? Like, could just anybody walk in through the front door?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. It was a museum, a center for research and cataloging of antiquities, and admittedly for keeping items that should not be in the public sphere away from the public, but that wasn't advertised. What would they need additional security for?
I'm just wondering. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm wondering if the center also has a door. Not the front door, but a different door. Or something there that Simon and Alistair took and kept safe that allowed someone to create one. Maybe? And that's how they got in?
Got in...
To the center. And potentially surprise them, and we're able to take Alistair and
the ones who attacked them.
Yes.
Which admittedly is why they would have needed additional security. We just never realized that was a danger at the time. Perhaps, although that is a leap of logic that at the moment we don't have the evidence for, and the best thing to do would be to look for the evidence for that. I do think that while there is more to find in this room, it's not the mystery that we are currently trying to solve.
You're right.
And I also feel like this raven is upsetting you.
And I'll just look up at the raven.
No, as you're looking at the raven, he still seems to be it. I keep saying he, but it's it. It still keeps staring at you intently. But as you're looking at it, like, you don't feel
anything like about
ominous
it.
or
yeah,
evil
it's
coming
just
from it.
it's just weird that a raven came in through the door.
Well, yeah, but it's also this
same
particular
raven.
with almost like that
Yeah.
little crown of feathers, the raven.
Yeah.
And he's just sort of staring intently at you, and it almost seems to you as you're looking at it that it's just
A raven.
it's just being patient, which is something ravens don't do.
You know what? You're right, Marion. Let's go find Alistair.
And start like actively herding Althea towards the door. And as I walk past
Once again, as you start walking towards the door, the raven makes a little chirp, and it just hops on the floor in front of you and just starts bobbing along, like walking ahead of you as ravens do, just walking along toward the door with you.
Thank you for listening to The Call. Our next episode will air Tuesday, May 30th, with Spacers, our sci-fi podcast, awaiting us all to get together again before recording more episodes. Please leave us a review in your podcast app of choice, and visit our main website for merch and Ko-fi information. As usual, we'd like to thank all of our donators over on Ko-fi, including Cyberfox, Darth Zahn, Leo, Shadow Rose, TJ, Josiah, Lindraska, Tavin, Eden Flynn, Flatted Fifth, Noah, Alex B, Rosa, Tyler, James, Noops, D Devil 1193, Kurt, and Alec. It's awesome just seeing how big that list is getting. Thank you all so very much. Music and ambient tracks licensed through Triune Films and Artlist. Your players for tonight were Elizabeth Wells, Janessa Coles, Lindsay Delansky, and Zach Barrett. Your producer was Rob Hickey, and your GM or keeper tonight was Derek Snow. Have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you next time.